Dismembers, it's Mindy. And you know what's funny? So much noise about transparency, right up until transparency tanks a homicide case. Then it's a blame game. Starts out, everybody's got opinions. Why won't they tell us more? Why aren't they releasing the 911 calls? Why aren't they showing us body cam footage? Why won't they name the suspect or suspects? Why is the media standing a mile away?
And my personal favorite, if there's not saying anything, they must be hiding something.
Hmm.
Is it? Yeah, isn't that about right?
Yeah, sounds right. Uh-huh. And meanwhile, Mindy, somewhere in the background, a detective is probably drinking cold coffee and taking calls from her supervisor. A forensic scientist is trying to collect, oh, I don't know, like a rusted shotgun out of a pond. and a, and a public information officer, usually Mindy, is getting screamed at by six reporters, three producers, two family members, and one guy on Facebook who apparently solved the whole case from his couch.
Yeah, facts for
Yeah.
sure. Keyboard warriors are a thing,
They abound.
abound. So today, dismembers,
Hey, dismembers.
yep, we are pulling back the yellow crime scene tape in a whole new way. Because this episode, this one's about who tells the story. But before the story tells itself. Welcome to Lights, Camera, No Comment.
I love it. Okay, let's start there. What exactly is a public information officer? Because people hear PIO or public information officer and immediately think public relations, damage control, spin, shit you've seen on TV, right? Political cleanup. And it helps if they're kind of cute or maybe hot, like the spokesmodel of the agency that's on the news. You've just got to be able to complete your sentences and, you're good. No Neanderthals need apply. That's what a PIO is.
God, no. And if that's what you think, bless your heart. A public information officer isn't there to spin anything. We are there to get facts, verify facts, release facts, protect investigations, protect victims, protect families, protect officers and detectives, and occasionally protect detectives from themselves.
That last one, very true about detectives. You probably don't want the actual detective assigned to the case busting out the front door of the crime scene to talk to the media, right, Mindy?
No.
This is maybe another one of those, I don't know, stay in your lane kind of situation, yes?
Yes, absolutely. And trust me, some detectives are brilliant investigators, absolute rock stars in maybe an interview room, but you put a microphone in front of them and suddenly they forget how their mouth works.
Well, same. I definitely always struggled with being on camera. I would much rather dig up a skeleton any day than do live television. Mostly because I know the media is going to take the dumbest thing I said and slap it on the air during the 5 o'clock news.
Also true. And that's why stuff like coaching exists. Oh, wait, but we'll get there.
No, wait a minute. Oh, we're absolutely going to get there. I could have used coaching. Was coaching available? No one coached me. Now I find out. What the fuck? Okay. All right. I needed coaching. I got no coaching.
She got
All
coaching.
right, Mindy, here we go. Take us through this PIO stuff step by step. Give me the know-how. I want to know.
So let's start at the very beginning then. So, how does this usually start, right? Same way crime scenes really start, a phone call, usually at 2 in the damn morning, like we've said before. And just like we talked about in the Crime Scene 101, episode, the public information officers, well, we get activated right alongside everybody else. Dispatch, patrol, detectives, forensics, medical examiners. Oh, yeah. And then me, half asleep, fumbling for my phone, already knowing if it's ringing at 2 a.m., this is not going to be good news.
Yeah, and by the time your phone rings, the media's probably already awake. Well, they're the ones that are calling you.
Yeah. Oh, they're awake. Trust me. Before I even found my glasses on the
Mhm.
side of the bed, I've already gotten calls, texts, voicemails, emails. Can you confirm? Was a criminal? Any arrests? Can we go live? And trust me, if you've never had to politely explain to a reporter why they cannot crawl under the crime scene tape while carrying a live camera, you haven't fully lived.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Not many people have done that,
Right.
but
And
you
yes,
have.
yeah. And that conversation happens all the time. And
Mm.
weirdly, I was never mad because those calls, as painful as they were, they gave me a pretty damn good heads up about the shitstorm waiting for me when I walked into work.
The target's on your back.
Always. And there's one of the biggest lessons I've learned in working major cases is if you say nothing, the media just comes at you harder and harder and harder
Hmm.
every time, because silence creates a vacuum, and vacuums get filled with what? Rumors, scanner traffic, social media posts, and misinformation. You know, those keyboard warriors or Facebook detectives, those TikTok experts. Oh, and your cousin Gary, who suddenly knows a guy close to the case. Always, always.
Hey, Mindy, don't knock my cousin Gary. Gary always knows a guy.
Yeah, yes.
Actually, Gary knows nothing. Gary thinks decomp smells sweet because that's what he's read in books. That's false. Don't believe Gary. Gary knows nothing.
Yeah, nothing. So sometimes your job as a PIO isn't to tell the whole story, it's just to say that just enough to buy your investigators time, to buy time to notify the family, time to verify the facts, time to secure evidence, time to figure out what the hell actually happened. And that's not hiding information, that's protecting the information and ultimately protecting that case. A member of one officer involved shooting, line of duty injury, hospital setting, absolute chaos. And within minutes, we realized we weren't working one story, we were working two.
Huh.
Story number one, what happened? Where? Suspects, crime scene, ongoing threat.
Hmm.
And story number two, our employee, his career, his family, his injuries, his condition. And every reporter in the state wanted both stories right now. So while detectives worked the one track, we, or me, worked the other, right? I've got to pull work history, photos. I have to get families' approval. And yes, having some very awkward conversations with family members about locking down their own personal social media accounts
Hmm.
because reporters will and can be ruthless. And believe me, if there's a photo of your employee drinking a Mai Tai on a beach, posing in a bikini, or smoking a cigar at a hunting camp, or standing next to a dead deer, or doing literally anything remotely human, somebody's going to try to turn it into tonight's lead story. Medical updates, coordinating with hospital administrators, getting special permission just to let media step foot on hospital grounds. All of these things are things that nobody really thinks about until you're thrown into it. And trust me, That was not in any playbook that I had ever seen or ever heard
It,
about.
yeah, it doesn't sound like it. There's not a manual for this. And
No.
you're saying these things, and they're definitely things that I don't think I'd ever really thought about that you would you would have had to dealt with as a PIO. That's
Yep.
the stuff people never see. And honestly, the stuff most people never even think about, like me. Here I am, never thought about it. And
Right.
we've been friends for 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, I mean, as you're talking about it, while investigators are protecting a case and doctors are trying to save a life, there are people out there whose entire job is to get the story first. We know about them. We see them every night on TV, right? And
Yep.
sometimes that urgency comes with a pretty stunning disregard for basic human decency,
Yeah.
like privacy, dignity, timing, grief. I'm thinking about it all. And by the way, Mindy, I know what case you're talking about because we were there together at the hospital.
Yep.
One of our own was catastrophically hurt, and our peer support team, which I was on, was dispatched to the trauma center. Who did I see there and who's already been there for hours? Mindy, taking phone calls and politely telling people on the phone to shove it.
Yeah. I wish I could have said that. Yes.
I've heard of families getting calls before they've even fully processed what happened. I've watched social media get picked apart, like vacation photos, wedding photos, kids, grandkids, anything that gets clicks. And once that stuff is out there, you just don't get it back. I can just imagine ever.
Nope.
Which is exactly why people like Mindy, my dismembers, fight like hell behind the scenes long before anybody ever sees a podium or a microphone.
Yeah, never. They see podiums, microphones, cameras. What they don't see is the 20 plus people behind the scenes trying to make sure one bad sentence, literally one bad sentence, doesn't screw up a criminal case. Or even worse, devastate a family.
Yeah, it's a really important job and one that I'm glad we're talking about today because I don't think a lot of people know what a PIO does. I think this
Yep.
is really important. So, okay, let's talk about the big one. Everyone wants to know the answer because we all sit there watching the news and end up saying in our heads or to our spouses or into our cup of wine, well, that story didn't tell me anything. Why can't law enforcement agencies just release everything about a crime scene or a case, Mindy? We don't understand.
Right. And it is very simple, but people just need to not want to scratch that instant gratification itch that they
Mm,
all suffer from.
yeah.
Because active investigations are protected for a reason. Think about witness statements or suspect interviews. How about next of kin notifications? What about evidence photos, autopsy findings, 911 calls, holdback evidence, juvenile information, sensitive victim details? There are laws that protect that information, especially while a criminal investigation is active. And honestly, even when we can release something, sometimes we just fucking shouldn't.
Yeah.
Because once something's public, it is public forever.
Great point. That's been true for a while now, but it sure bears repeating. Once something's public, it's public forever. And from an investigative standpoint, that matters because sometimes only the killer knows certain details. A specific injury, a weapon, a ligature, something said at the scene, something moved, something taken even. Sometimes only the victim, the offender, and the investigators should ever know. And if that gets released, guess what? Now everybody knows. And your confession that your investigator painstakingly got in that interview room just got a whole lot less useful. But it doesn't stop there because if this case goes where we all hope it goes, to an arrest, to an indictment, to a courtroom, Now you've got another problem. Jurors. 12 complete strangers who are supposed to walk into that courtroom with an open mind and no preconceived bullshit.
Yep.
And if they've already spent, say, 6 months watching leaked evidence, reading Facebook theories, listening to the talking heads, or watching somebody's I solved this case TikTok feed, good luck finding a clean jury pool. And
Yep.
trust me, defense attorneys absolutely pay attention to that. They're counting on it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the part people don't think about. Everybody screams, release everything until the suspect walks, because somebody couldn't keep their damn mouth shut.
Yeah, I do remember a scene that I was on a long time ago where we were recovering a body and they were wrapped in something very specific.
Yeah.
And our detectives knew that if that information got out and the specific brand of what was wrapped around this victim got out, then we were just giving the case away, basically. We were
Right.
alerting the suspect that we knew certain things about him, and it would have just, the wheels would have come off. So,
Yes.
yeah. And you know what? We're talking about people keeping their mouths shut. Trust me, scientists are fantastic with evidence, right? I feel like I was, but probably less fantastic with live microphones or eye contact and the radical concept of a short answer. People like me, we want to explain our data. We want to
Yeah.
explain our reasoning. We
Yeah.
want to explain the historical perspective of the technique we just used. Not useful stuff when you're in front of a microphone and a family has just gone through the worst thing ever.
Yeah, because again, like we said, transparency doesn't mean telling everyone everything. Now let's talk about one of my favorite parts, coaching experts.
Oh, coaching experts, if only I'd had one.
Ooh. Well, I can remember a couple of times telling you what and what not to say.
And
Because one of the smartest people I've ever worked with should absolutely not be handed a microphone without supervision.
wait a minute. Excuse me. You
I
cannot
don't,
in any way be talking about me. I
I'm
feel
not,
personally attacked right now.
well, you should, because you're one of them.
Oh
I
my
love you.
God.
Yeah, I love you, but left unsupervised, you'd answer, what can you tell us about this case? Well, based on the insect colonization patterns, blah,
Okay,
blah, blah,
yeah.
blah,
And
blah.
okay, time out. And that would be fascinating. I bet lots
Absolutely.
of people would like to hear about forensic entomology from
It,
me.
absolutely. It would be fascinating. And you know me, I can listen to you talk for ages.
Oh, yeah.
And, but it would be absolutely completely unhelpful,
Ugh.
because one of my jobs is very, very simple. Answer the question asked, and then shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Don't elaborate. Don't add on. Don't just because you think it's cool, I'm going to say these things. Just answer the question asked and then shut your mouth.
It's so hard. That's
I know.
honestly harder than people realize. I mean, for me, I'm only speaking for myself, of course. Scientists love details. We love the scientific method. Form a
Yep.
hypothesis, test the hypothesis, disprove the hypothesis, and verbalize it, talk shit about it from step A to Z, every
And
single step.
yep. And
Yickety, yickety,
on
yak, yak.
and on and on and on. And then detectives
Yes.
love rabbit holes.
Oh,
Let's go
God.
down 52 rabbit holes. And cops sometimes 100% forget any empathy they've ever had in their bodies.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
that's where coaching matters, because facts matter. But delivery can be the difference between building trust and looking like a complete dumbass on live television.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, one of the hardest fights I ever had was pushing leadership to hold actual press conferences.
Hmm.
After a decades old homicide was solved, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I fought for it because this wasn't about us. It wasn't about the cops and the work. It was
Right.
all about the victim, the family, those few detectives and professionals who refused to quit. And if we were going to tell that story, we were going to tell it right, not have anyone else do it or script
Yeah.
it. We were going to control that message.
This is where
So,
preparation comes in, right?
absolutely. So, we coached, we rehearsed, we moved people around. I went so far as changing speakers, changed wording, added empathy, removed all acronyms, jargon, blah, 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 right? And
Mm-hmm.
then when the detective stepped up to the podium, he wasn't just solving a case. I taught him and coached them that he was giving a family something they'd been waiting decades to hear.
Yeah. And I think that public recognition of the fact that a case that big was solved, uh, that only shines the light on the good work that these agencies do too. I mean,
Yeah,
if you can get 5 people up there that want to say something, that's
right.
always a problem too. Because those are the moments, those are the important moments in the media that I know you look at and I look at, and we find them impactful because those moments, that's when media does matter. Those are the impactful moments that the people in our communities need to see. They need to see the hard work that goes into a case like that. They need to see the committed district attorney that's up there that prosecuted the case. And I think they need to see the family. They need to see the face of the people whose lives have been changed forever by these types of events.
Right, 100%. And PIOs don't just show up for the bad stuff.
Yeah.
Nikki and I spent years working missing and unidentified persons outreach, right?
Yep.
We created a ton of videos and awareness campaigns. Shit, we did missing children events. We, did public education. Pitting those faces and those stories in front of the communities and the public at large, because sometimes it's not solving a case. It's always about starting with somebody who's recognizable and who may recognize a face or even simply a tattoo or a pair of boots or a story they thought nobody cared about, right? It's getting that out there.
Yeah. And that's the work that matters also, sometimes more than people realize. And sometimes, despite all the databases, all the science, all the interviews, all the search warrants, all the press conferences, we can hit a wall. And that's when something really interesting happens. We stop talking to the public and we start talking with them.
Yes, exactly. It's that mind shift for these
Yeah,
agencies. And it's, because sometimes the person who breaks the case wide open isn't a detective.
right.
Sometimes it's not a forensic scientist or a prosecutor. It's a witness, a truck driver, a neighbor, maybe an ex-girlfriend, or in light of our cases, a hunter or a hiker,
Right.
a
Yes.
kid scrolling through social media at 2 a.m. Again, and that's when my job shifts, because now we're not just releasing information, we're building a strategy. What do we release? What do we hold back? What photos do we use? What details matter? And then what details don't? What are we actually asking people to look for? Is it a car, a tattoo, a backpack? Is it a timeline, a person? Maybe it's a simple memory. Because if you ask the public for help, you better be crystal clear what the hell you're asking for.
Yeah, you're going to need to spell it out. And
Yep.
even when you are crystal clear, people are still going to be people.
Yes.
They're going to do wackadoodle people things.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Yes, they are. Whew. And look, I will be the first person to tell you social media can be unbelievably powerful. We all know this.
Yeah.
I've seen one post, one shared photo, one missing person flyer, one surveillance still reach hundreds of thousands of people in a matter of hours, if
Yeah.
not minutes. I've watched complete strangers share a Facebook of a face, a vehicle, a tattoo, timeline, and help bring somebody home,
Yeah.
right? Missing, or help us finally put a name to somebody who lost theirs. So when social media works, it is damn powerful. But then come the fucking keyboard warriors. Again, let's talk about them again. The all knowing, all seeing, crime solving legends working exclusively from their couch, probably in their mother's basement, with a phone at 3% and absolutely zero factual facts, right? Actual facts, 000. And suddenly they've solved the whole damn case.
Yeah. Based entirely on like a blurry screenshot or I don't know, like a horoscope and a
Yeah,
gut feeling.
yeah,
And yeah, got it, nailed it.
nailed it.
And like Mindy always loves to say, the stupid shit they learn from watching way too much TV, and it's a lot.
I mean, preach, sister, preach. And
Mhm.
before you know it, some innocent guy with a beard and a white pickup truck and poor life choices is being accused of murder by people whose biggest investigative experience is binge watching Netflix in pajama pants, right? And that's where it gets dangerous, honestly, because public engagement, again, like we've said, is freaking powerful.
Yeah,
Public speculation can be a complete disaster.
yeah. So there's a fine line here, certainly, of talking with the public and engaging with the public and uh, really drawing boundaries, which is why when Mindy puts something out there, she's not just asking for help, she's also building guardrails, and that's why she's the expert.
Well, I don't know about expert, but I've been doing it a long damn time.
Yeah, you
So
have.
if I'm asking for your help, I'm telling you exactly what we need, not theories, not your cousin's conspiracy, not your ex boyfriend from 2007, just facts. What you saw, when you saw it, where you saw it. And if you've got blurry UFO footage, unless I specifically asked for aliens,
Hmm.
please just keep fucking scrolling.
Well, Mindy doesn't care if your ex-boyfriend from 2007 actually looks like an alien. That's not what she asked for. Stick to the script, people. Although honestly, I probably still watch the footage because I want to see your alien ex-boyfriend. But
Yes.
Mindy is apparently all business.
In this lane, I am very much all business.
Yeah, you
So,
are.
all right, dismembers, what did we learn today?
Hmm.
If a PIO says no comment, it usually means we know more. We're just not dumb enough to screw up the case. Podiums don't build themselves. Detectives hate microphones. Scientists, God love you, hate short answers.
Amen.
Reporters never sleep. And Facebook comments are almost never investigative leads. Just aren't.
Yeah, and if you remember one thing, dismembers, remember this. Transparency doesn't mean telling everyone everything. Sometimes the truth survives because somebody knew exactly when to shut the hell up.
Yes, amen. Well,
This was really, really interesting, Mindy. Thank you for blessing us with your experience. Because I really,
yeah,
I mean, talk about behind the crime scene tape. I
right.
dig this.
And we didn't even go into what powers the media think they have versus what powers they actually have.
That
What
is a
the
good point.
invention of telephoto lenses has done to us. What,
Oof.
right? What
Yeah.
cell phone photos and live streaming has done to us on social media. I have seen people walk up to dead people in vehicles and stick their phones in front of the dead person's face to put them live on a social media platform.
Oh
We
my
could go
God.
on and
Yeah.
on and on. I have buckets of nightmare stories,
Yeah.
but we'll save that until next time.
Yeah. You know what? Thanks for bringing us behind the curtain. I think I'll step back out.
Exactly.
Let me think. I don't
Exactly.
think I want to be here anymore.
Exactly. So until next time, Nikki,
Yeah.
where are we meeting?
Well, Mindy, you're the best. I just got to tell you. And I think I'm going to take you out to dinner, but first, meet me at the morgue.